Welcome to another Ethereum update. So in my previous solid view of Ethereum, I did say that E wave ended down here, which was the end of B wave in brackets, and the price projection here is $6,000 for Ethereum. And the difference with this particular chart is that we've already seen this correction go above and beyond what I've seen in other charts so far, but that doesn't mean that this thing won't just start correcting sideways once it gets near the target. And the reason for that is because the correction is basically expanded to the upside. Okay. And when the correction's expanded to the upside, it's the law of alternation. Once you get your wave 3, you'll basically get a sideways correction for a while, you know. So whatever it is, it'll get there quickly, but then it'll hang around for a bit before it makes its final move. This is my opinion, right? And that'll be the same length as the A wave, right? The A wave that we saw back. This was actually was a bit further back. This one, A wave started in around December 2018, and we saw the the AIM brackets A, B, C, and this one was another strange D wave. And that's why you can see this thing continuing to move higher. So it's the same view that I have for Bitcoin, sort of, because well, actually, this one's a bit different because it's in a D wave. But either way, it's still a zigzag, and I suppose interesting things can happen. And not all markets are producing the same pattern, right? Once Bitcoin gets to its top and starts to turn down, it'll produce a different pattern than what I believe will happen in Ethereum. There's no telling where that E wave could drop down towards. It may be quite severe. And given that the Dow Jones is in a D wave also, wouldn't be surprised if this E wave was a pretty sharp move to the downside. So I'm not going to get into that part yet. There's still many videos to go before we get to that. Trying to understand the different potentials for the next move down. For now, though, it's just important to understand that it's the same pattern. It's just a bit more advanced. It's managed to progress a lot quicker than like Bitcoin's correction. But if you have a look closely, what you can see, I don't know, maybe I should have gone to the hourly. One sec. So after we got the E wave, the break of the E wave, by that point we had already made not only just a wave 1, but the A and the B, C, right? The C wave came back to sort of retest this area here, which was the break of the highs. And then the D and the E, you can see it quite clearly there. You had the D and the E, right? So it's a break of this area that was the bullish confirmation. And this one is in wave 3 right now. So it's definitely more further along than other coins, but I wouldn't be surprised if this thing just keeps going straight up from here, just like this, because it's in a third of a third wave. Yeah, basically. And then once we make that move, it'll probably be overbought, and then it'll probably just go into a sideways correction for a while until a lot of the other markets catch up, as I mentioned before, and then you'll get that final move, whatever that is, to hit $6,000. And that's a measured move. That's not just a guess, right? All my analysis has good, solid, logical foundation behind it. That's why, as I mentioned many times, I created Arias Wave, and it's a methodology. So that measured move is basically the length of wave A. Don't be surprised though if it overshoots, because D waves tend to give the impression that the main trend has resumed and there's going to just be crazy upside. But once reality sets in, there is actually a top that will form and you will get a reversal. We don't know, obviously, as I've mentioned before, we don't know how deep that reversal will be, but if there's a lot of other turbulence going on in the markets at that time, which I believe there will be, then we can just expect a pretty deep correction for wave E. And it's not a bad thing, because you can always sell at the top, sell high and buy low, and you're still in the game, and you'll make way more money because you would have more capital and you would have bought it at a lower price. But you need to wait for that correction to complete first. And even though it is a very expanded B wave in brackets correction, this is very normal at the moment. Bitcoin did the same thing. The key here now is to just finish off the pattern. And I just think it's crazy how corrections can sometimes expand so much that they look so impulsive. So wouldn't be surprised if you get people who follow Elliott Wave and they would think that perhaps this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I mean, it just doesn't make any sense, because you're not even including this. So once again, some people may even think that this is a 1, 2, and then that's a 3, and then potentially when that happens, they'll be waiting for some kind of correction to occur in order to make that final high wherever that's going to go. But what I believe, it's actually going to be a bit different than that, and it'll basically correct and go lower to I don't know where. We can't really determine that at this point, and I don't think there's much point to doing that either. So not to worry. Everything seems on track as per the previous solid idea. I'll link it below if you haven't seen it. And I did say this thing's going to start moving higher. So hopefully you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.